Long before I became this yoga and Ayurvedic life and wellness coach, before all the trainings, before the certifications, I spent 25 years in corporate. I did all the right things. I climbed the ladder. I built the life I was supposed to want. I did want. And from the outside, everything was looking really good. Really good. But from the inside, something felt off. Stress had become my constant companion, this low-grade panic in my belly, dread in the morning, sleepless nights, always feeling behind, never quite catching up. What I didn't have the language for back then was this. Over time, I had accumulated so much stress effect in my body, my mind, my nervous system, that had become my baseline. I was no longer just dealing with stressful moments. I was living in a stress mode. Now, yoga was the first doorway for me, not as a coping tool, although it may have started as such, but it became for me this glimpse into a different way of living in my body, and supporting my nervous system. And that doorway opened up into a deeper healing practice and a path of what turned out to be real change. And now today, almost a decade later, actually probably more like 12 years when I think about it end to end, but now I have been able to distill that journey into a structured way of supporting women to move from chronic stress and overwhelm into what I like to call stress-less living. And it's not by trying harder, but by changing the structure of how stress lives within you. And if you've built a full life and still feel like stress has become your default, I need you to know you're not broken. And I need you to know there is another way. You can live with stress because life is going to life, and we're never going to remove all the stress from our lives, but you can live a life without being run by it or running on it. And this is what I call stress-less living. If that sounds like something that you have been craving, even if you think it is impossible, it's not for you, I don't have the time, when, the project ends, when the boss changes, when my kids get older, when I retire, then I'd love to show you another way. And that is exactly what I do in my 12-week container called the Stress Less Solution. And I just happen to have a new cohort of the program starting very, very soon, in the next few days, and I love to tell you more about it. I'll pop the details in the comments below. But for now, read on, but I really, really want you to hear this. You are not broken. I know that it's hard. I know that inside you're suffering, outside it's looking rosy. And I know that the people looking at you may not even notice how much is actually going on inside. There is another way. I promise. Stress-less living can be yours.